Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Insufficient Friends. I'm Kevin, she's Stevie.
Hi.
And, Steve, how was your week?
Well, it was great until yesterday, and I've been crying for the past 24 hours, but let me explain. Miss Swift.
Yes.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Is in the process of re-recording all her albums under her previous manager.
Yep.
Because he sold the rights to them. That happens, unfortunately, a lot to famous singers. So she's re-recording them so that she has the rights. She just released a re-recording of her album Speak Now, which I want to say, I should have looked this up, 2009, 2010 is when it came out.
Yeah.
That was one of the first albums in general, but like definitely of hers that I like downloaded onto my iPod and like knew every single song.
Okay.
And so that one, I don't know, something about that album, it just like means a lot. And it's literally the same songs.
Yeah.
It's the same person singing the same music, but still it made me so emotional to listen to. And I just can't like wrap my head around it, even though it's the same.
I've heard that, though, from, I feel like, a few people with with the Taylor's versions.
Yes.
Because there's been several of them that have come out now.
Correct. That's what they're called. Whatever Taylor's version, Red, it's Taylor's version, Speak Now, Taylor's version. And they're ever so different, slightly.
Well, yeah, because she's basically re-recording the whole thing, isn't she?
The entire song.
Yeah.
And the
so
music
it's gonna be a little different.
Tiny different. Her voice obviously sounds just a little bit different. And she'll change some phrases and words here and there. But and anytime she does, that's like a big deal. You're like, oh my god!
Of course, I'm sure it is, because you already know the words. So
exactly.
If you know the words, it's a different word or something comes up, then it's like, oh well, they're
and it's like listening to one of your soon-to-be favorite albums for the first time, but also knowing all the words.
Yeah,
it was a crazy experience. I was
I'm sure.
blaring it in my car. It's all I've been listening to yesterday. Probably will same today.
Yeah.
It's just. I'm so thankful for her. I love her.
Yeah, I get that.
Do you, can you get emotional listening to music, even if you're, if you're happy, you're having a fine day, nothing out of the ordinary has happened to, make you emotional? If a sad enough or, emotional enough song comes on, can you, will it bring you to tears?
No.
Have you ever cried, from just hearing a song?
No.
Wow.
Not that I can think of, no.
Well, I am very in touch with my emotions, and I can dig deep, and, I find it hard not to cry to songs sometimes.
Okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but that's just what I wanted to make sure everyone knows. I'm not crying because I'm sad. I'm crying because I've been given an amazing gift from my savior, Mrs. Swift.
Okay, that's an interesting way to put it, but okay, that works. Yeah, she's Megan, who was on here a couple weeks ago with us.
Our last guest.
She's going to their concert her concert in Kansas City, which is, I mean, it's Saturday when we're recording this, so it's tonight.
Every time someone mentions they're going to see Taylor Swift, it's rough.
It's rough for you.
It's really rough.
I mean, you could have got tickets. Well, I mean,
it was a challenge.
Yeah. Did you try to get tickets?
I didn't.
Okay.
Only because. I mean, I don't buy tickets for that many things. It kind of has to be, I've got a group that's going, or it's, someone, maybe it's not that expensive, but I just knew these were going to be outrageous, and they were. And I'm kind of glad I didn't try because, and maybe I would have if the whole Ticketmaster fiasco didn't happen the way that it did. Maybe I would have tried to later, but it's, from what I've heard from everyone, it's been almost impossible to get tickets.
Yeah.
So that's okay. And truly, I took a long break being, super big into Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
And then before her newest album, which we've mentioned on here, Midnights, I was just like, well, she's marketing it really well. She seems excited about it. I'll tune in. And then I kind of, fell back in love with her and started listening to her old stuff, too.
Okay. That works.
Yeah. So the tickets were, I kind of was like, why would I get tickets? It just wasn't.
It wasn't really
one of my
top of
favorite
mind.
artists at the time. Okay. Now, completely different story.
Yeah. So if they were to come out today, if she was to announce a new concert in Kansas City next year or something, you would probably try to get
Yeah.
tickets for that. Okay.
I have like one friend I would try to like see if she'd want to go with me. That's the thing too. I'm not going by myself.
Yeah.
And
I'd probably go to see her. I think she'd be a good act to
there
go
you
see.
go. Maybe we get Nikki. Maybe we get our squad to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to a concert by myself, and I'm sure my lovely boyfriend does not want to go to a Taylor Swift concert, and I would not make him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Like,
I can understand
yeah,
that.
when I was younger, like that, my dad would have gone, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make him do that either because he doesn't listen to her. So going to a concert you know no songs to is probably not
Yeah.
that enjoyable.
Oh yeah.
But
Me and my dad have gone to a lot of concerts together.
right, you're a big concert.
And there's
person.
the one that he always says he despised the most was Rush.
Oh, that's sad.
Because he only likes 2 songs.
Yeah, well.
So when you're at a
do
concert
it.
when it's only 2 songs that you like and it's 3 hours long, I mean I get that. I thought it was great, but he does admit though that they are like. It's amazing how much music 3 guys can make on a stage, but he didn't like the concert.
That's unfortunate for him.
Yeah.
Speaking of concerts feeling like they're too long, we've never mentioned our experience going with some friends to see 4 different artists.
It was Nikki,
For-
me, you, Nikki, and
then
Will and
Her now
and,
husband.
yeah,
Also,
Casey.
congratulations.
Yes, congratulations to Nikki and
to
Casey.
Nikki and Casey, they got
Yeah.
married recently in
I'm
Scotland.
sure. I know you guys will be listening eventually, probably when you get
Yes.
back. But
Yes.
congratulations,
We're
guys.
wishing you well.
Yeah.
And so we went with them. We went with my boyfriend Will.
Yeah. Steve was not happy by the end of that.
It was just, I don't think I realized, I thought like each artist would perform an hour, not basically an entire concert.
Yeah. Well, the first couple did. They performed like an hour hour and 10 minutes apiece
Hour
or
and a
something.
half,
And then they slowly like the last 2 did like an hour and a half, and then like
2 hours.
2 hours, which it was a long. It was also though I don't think it would have been as bad if it wasn't 1,000 degrees outside
It was
that day.
so hot. It
And you're
was
outside
middle of July.
and you're
It's
sitting in the sun.
the degrees that
Yeah.
it is right now.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know what I imagined. I just thought it would be more of like they wouldn't play that much. I don't know what I thought. It was a nearly 7-hour concert, and I can't ever think to do that again. 4 to 11.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the artists were great. I liked them.
Yeah.
But I think a mix of not knowing every single one of any of their songs and having like moments from each artist where I'm like, okay, I don't know
care.
any of these.
Yeah.
And the last one, which went the longest.
Yeah, you didn't.
I knew
you
the
didn't-
least.
Yeah, you knew the least.
Maybe
I know.
the second and the last I knew
Yeah.
the least. But I was just like, I
No,
can't do this.
Well, you knew the second to last was Motley
No,
Crue.
the second or the last, which was Poison was second.
Oh, the second or the. I thought you
or
said
the
second to the last.
band.
Okay, got
So it was Joan Jett, Love.
Mhm.
No, quite a few.
it. Yep.
But that was like, she had to start going literally at 4 and I'm glad she did because we would have actually been there till 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
And so she was already like halfway through probably by the time we got to our seats, which is fine. She's probably a few songs in.
She was a couple. So we heard her starting
Yeah.
as we were walking to our seats. Yeah.
So that was fine. And then Poison came. I think I know one song, literally one. So that was like, whatever. That was
Yeah.
my like, okay, I'll go to the bathroom, get a snack, whatever. And then Motley Crue came, which was probably my favorite, knew
Yeah.
the most. Then after them, I was like, oh, I can't. I'm good. Like, I can't do another whole entire concert. And that's what I had left
Yeah.
to sit through.
Yeah.
It was Def Leppard. And they were great. They
Yeah.
have some really, really good songs.
But you were
at
done
the
by that
time,
point. You were done by that point.
Only knew one.
Yeah.
And it was mess. And I'm a go to bed early girl.
Yeah, I know.
That was rough.
Yeah. And the sitting in the parking lot for an hour after the show was done didn't help you
Yeah,
either.
no, it was terrible to get out, which is normal
Yeah.
concert traffic.
Yeah,
So
especially
that's-
when you're at a venue that seats 40 some odd
Yes.
thousand people instead of
Yes, it was.
20.
It made that was expected, but I can understand your dad's unfortunate yet very relatable, like bad experiences at concerts. If you don't know every song, it's probably rough.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't know he has a different feeling on concerts than I do, and I don't know what you think about this, but we'll find out here in a second.
Yeah.
When he goes to a concert, he wants to hear the song exactly as it is on the album. He doesn't want any like extra playing. He doesn't want any solos. He doesn't want anything like that. He wants to hear the song as it is played on the album. And so he like when you do like a 3 or 4 minute solo, he doesn't like that. I like it to a certain extent as long as it doesn't go way too like there's some concerts where I've been to where a solo will go on like 10 or 12 minutes and it's like okay, this is getting a little old at this point.
Yeah.
Like I like it, but when it's just one instrument playing for that long, it can start to get a little old. But he doesn't want hardly any variation from the album.
I mean, I get not wanting to go too long. Of course, you can do too much.
Yeah.
Anyone can, like, go too hard, do too much. But I think usually when I'm going to concerts, I'm not like I'll just go to any concert just to say I went. I go to concerts of people that I am, like, a big fan of. So they could quite literally do whatever they want, and I will just be happy to be there. Often, like, starstruck and, like, emotional and, like, I'm just so happy to be there that I don't really care what they do in that extent. Obviously, I want to hear the songs I know, but no, I don't care if they mix it up. It's kind of fun. It's like we got in on like a little secret that the rest of if they only like maybe they do something different in every concert. That's fun to me.
Yeah.
Like, in Nashville I do this, but in Kansas City I do this. It's like, ooh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
We got like to in on this little secret with
a couple different set
them.
lists, so they might play a couple different songs.
Exactly.
One of my and I was talking to people at the station about this yesterday. Actually, Megan, when we were talking about her show. One of the coolest things that I liked as a souvenir that I bought from a concert is we went to see Kiss in Kansas City years and years ago.
Yeah.
And they had hired a company to go around on their entire tour with them and record every single concert, and then you could buy that concert and have the album of that concert.
That I don't.
Which was kind of fun.
Really?
Yeah. I have the album of our concert from Kansas City.
Imagine that's where this was going.
Yeah. Because it's the only time I've ever seen that before, and that's something that I thought was cool. It's like, okay, I was actually like, you can buy live albums, and they're all usually recorded at some big venue or something like that, and it's one show that they record, or maybe two nights that they record both nights, and then kind of cut them together to make one show. But it's different when you buy the concert that you went to.
Yeah, no, I get that, but like, is it hanging up somewhere? Do you listen to it? Like,
yeah,
what?
it's on my iPod or my phone or whatever.
You will listen to it? Like, oh, it's from a concert. See, I hate listening, like, without being there. I don't like to listen to any, like, live.
Oh, I love live albums.
No. I don't.
Okay.
Because I don't like to hear, I think the audience in the background is just not, it's just not what I, like, want to listen to when I'm just, like, skipping through songs. Like, I just want the song. I don't need crowd cheering. I don't know. I don't need them to, like, give a speech at the end. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? At concerts, it's just, like, there's so much other stuff going on. I just want the song.
Yeah, I understand the talking in between them, like, in between songs and things like that. Because that can, if you're just listening to the album, kind of slow it down. Well, it can a lot slow it down if you're just listening to it in your car or something. But in my opinion, if it's cut right, if it's done correctly, all of that should be at the end of each track, which is how I've usually seen it. So once you use it, it starts with the song. Once you get to the end, you could just skip to the next song, and then you're just doing that. If you don't want to do that, I understand.
Right. Or it's just like, I could also just, and probably if I've gone to their concert, already do have a version of that song that is just the song and not the live version. So in my mind, why would I want the live version with all this extra stuff? I get if it's like, ooh, this is a souvenir. I'm only going to play this if I want to reminisce on this concert.
Yeah.
Maybe if it, was it like a disc or like a vinyl?
No, it was a CD. Yeah.
So maybe, if you just, like, keep that little thing in your archive somewhere, and that's your souvenir from that concert. Because I know some people, I get getting souvenirs.
Well, I buy a souvenir at every single one of them.
Right. My dad is kind of like that, too. He always wants to get a T-shirt from the concerts.
Yep.
He's a big concert person, too. Like, probably been to more than anyone I
Oh,
ever
I'm sure.
know. But so I get getting souvenirs, but I wouldn't purposefully probably like download those music. Like I wouldn't want those songs in my normal mix of songs that I listen to on a daily
It's
basis.
not in my normal mix of songs.
Okay,
There
well,
are
then
some
that's
live
okay.
albums that are in my normal mix of songs.
Yeah.
Actually, another Kiss live album that is in my normal mix of songs is one that they did in the early aughts, I
The
believe.
what?
Early 2000s.
Oh.
That was it's got they've got a symphony orchestra as like their backing. Like they're playing with a symphony orchestra.
Okay, that's cool.
Which is something different,
neat, yeah.
and that's fun. And I love those.
So-
Elton John did one of those one time too, and I love that album.
So that's
I love
only
that as well.
that particular sound. It's only for
Only on that live
concert.
album.
Okay, yeah, that okay. If it's like special, actually, now that I think about it, there's one song, and it's only because I have yet to find it. It's a cover, and I've yet to actually just find it, like a recorded version of it. So I do have that live, and I'll listen to that. But it's like every time I listen to it, I'm just like, ugh, there's so much other, there's background noise, if that makes sense. Like, you could just tell. And
Yeah.
that's not what I care to, like, listen to. But each to their own.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious, what's your, I hate saying, like, a worst one, but what's your best concert experience and then your least best concert experience?
Least best concert experience or worst concert experience was seeing the Beach Boys,
Aww.
which was sad.
That is
Because I
sad.
like the Beach Boys.
Yeah, and you tried
but-
to compare them to the Beatles and the Rolling Stones way back a few episodes, but we won't even get
Yeah,
into
well, I mean, there is an argument there. But anyway,
Sorry.
yeah, there is an argument there. But I went with my parents to see the Beach Boys years ago, and it was before Brian Williams started touring with them again. So there was really only, I believe, one Beach Boy that was actually in the group that we saw.
Yeah.
So, and it wasn't good. Like it just wasn't good. And I mean, I still love the music and I love listening to the old music, but it's just it wasn't the same thing. It wasn't even close. So I didn't really enjoy that concert. I can't say if I would. I mean, I don't think they tour. They show up every once in a while, but I don't know that I would go see them again.
Yeah.
Best concert experiences or concert experience. I don't know if I can pick just one.
It is really hard.
Like,
I know mine, but even I feel bad because I have honorable mentions. You can do some honorable mentions.
yeah, but I don't know what I would do as an honorable mention. What I would do as like number one.
Have you seen people multiple times?
Yeah, lots of them.
And
I've seen several people multiple times.
regret it? Don't regret it?
No, I've
Happy
never-
would see them again.
Yeah. The only one that I probably wouldn't go like specifically to see them again is I probably wouldn't go see Poison specifically again. I've seen them 2-3 times, I believe. But they're always like with another. Every time I've seen them, it's
always?
with another group.
Oh wow.
So like I wouldn't go see just them.
yeah.
But I don't know that they would ever do just a show by
Yeah.
themselves.
That's
So
clearly not their thing.
because every concert I've seen them in is with at least one other group, if not two. The Rolling Stones is probably right up there. The Rolling Stones, and they had Ed Sheeran open for them, so I also saw Ed
That's
Sheeran at
pretty
that same
good.
show, which I wasn't expecting. I didn't know about it until we actually were getting there, but that was a cool one. But also like we talked about this week with the concerts and stuff, and I have seen, I think 3 times I've seen this, and having everybody likes a dueling piano, but having Billy Joel and Elton John duel on a piano at a concert together,
Can't imagine.
that's so much fun to
Yeah.
watch. And they're
Yeah.
playing each other's songs, and they're playing them together, and they're singing each other, like going back and forth, singing each other. It's so freaking cool.
I'm kind of like having some regret because I think my dad and I discussed possibly going to see Stevie Nicks and Billy Joel on this like tour that they're on, and decided for whatever reason. And I'm, it is a it can be a pain to like, okay, if it's not really in your budget at the time,
Yeah.
buying the tickets, parking. Obviously, concerts are a mess. Like
Yeah. I
until
thought
your
about it.
artist comes out on stage, you're kind of like, why am I here? Like
Yeah.
this sucks, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like it's all worth it. But so yeah, I'm kind of like, as you say this, I love, love, love Fleetwood Mac, and I
Yeah.
love Stevie Nicks. I love Billy Joel. So that would have been, and it's just so hard to
I thought about it because I also know how big
not
of a,
want to go to a
how
concert.
big of a fan Nikki is of Stevie Nicks, and I was like, I'm surprised she hasn't said
I
anything about
know.
this.
I think just not. It wasn't the year to do it.
Yeah.
But that
So-
would have been. Anyone who went is very, very lucky, and that'll probably never happen
Yeah.
again. So as
And-
far as like that tour, that duo.
Seeing the Eagles is,
Oh,
of
that's
course. I mean,
that's like
I've
your
seen
favorite
them
band.
4 times, I think. So,
Yeah,
um,
that's insane. But
yeah,
that's what. I mean, that's what I just need to start doing. I think I just need to start getting tickets for all these concerts because I always, I never regret going. Even the long concert, never regret seeing these people live.
Yeah.
You know.
well, take your dad. I'll go to a bunch of them with you, probably, depending on who it
That's
is.
the
So,
thing, like, I'll just.
I know you don't want to go
force
by
people to
yourself.
go.
I've
might,
gone to
though.
I've gone to a
Honestly,
couple by myself.
it would
It's a
depend on the
different
circumstance.
it's a different vibe going by yourself. But I've gone to 2 shows by myself.
Yeah. I would feel safe at like a Taylor Swift concert by myself. I feel like I can make friends there very easily.
Yeah.
But like, you never know. If I'm going to like, I don't know. Can't think of one I wouldn't be safe at, but I just would feel I would feel less comfortable than others.
Yeah.
I guess. Okay, do you want to know my favorite?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
So,
What's the let's start with the worst or the least favorite.
so
Since you asked me
once
for both,
again,
let's
it
start
is
with the
hard.
least favorite.
I think it's hard for me because, like, I never want to say a concert was, like, a bad thing. I've never gone and been like, that person sounded bad. I will say, you know, the people we saw were pretty old and not all of
you
them
don't say, Steve.
sounded the way that they did when I played them on my phone.
Okay, I wonder why.
But still, even that I wouldn't say was the worst. I don't even know. I don't remember exactly why. I'm pretty sure my dad took me to a Demi Lovato concert when I was a kid, and it was just like, it was like a surprise, and I don't even know if I'm remembering this correctly. From what I remember, it was just like a surprise, and it was like last minute, and I was just kind of like, I don't, like, cool, thank you, like, I'm grateful, and I really liked it, you know, Demi Lovato's a good artist, I like her music, but I didn't know enough songs to, like, enjoy it, I was like, okay, a lot of these I don't know, and it was, like, literally, like, we're going in, like, a couple of hours, or we're going tonight.
So you didn't have time to like listen to a bunch of songs.
And I was just a kid, and I was like, I don't really know if I want to, like, drive 2 hours to go to this concert. I didn't know what was happening until right now, you know? And I think we even, like, left, like, halfway through, which is, like, a bummer.
Oh yeah.
You know? So, but nothing against her. I just think I was, like...
It was just a little caught off guard or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, I was a weird kid, and I didn't really like my plans changing or things coming out of the blue. Still don't love it.
Yeah.
But as a kid, I was, like, a control freak,
Even
and
worse,
I
yeah.
hated, like, last-minute plans like that.
Okay.
Best.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I already know what the
And
answer to this is.
I will say, there's could be a potential tie almost, but Paul McCartney.
Yeah, I knew
He just
that was
has
gonna
to
be
be.
the answer.
It just has to be.
What's the potential tie?
Oh my God, people are gonna. My dad is not gonna like this. I love Miley Cyrus. And as a
Okay.
kid, I saw
Yeah.
her do like the Hannah Montana Miley concert.
Okay.
I've actually seen her twice.
Okay. Yeah, you've told
Only
me that,
artist
I
I've
think.
ever seen twice. Saw her like Hannah Montana World and saw her like after, you know, Bangers tour. Like
Yeah.
she was going crazy, dressing up like,
Yeah.
you know, Muppets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the concert I saw when I was younger, I think that was probably like the earliest concert I can remember being like, this is a famous person that is
Okay.
on this stage. The Jonas Brothers opened up for her.
Oh, okay.
So like that was really, really cool for me. And once again, knew every song because it was all the songs on the show on Hannah
Yeah.
Montana, or that like people, you know, I had like her little CD.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just, I remember getting Hannah Montana concert tickets and just being like, this is it doesn't get better. Like, I'm the luckiest kid on earth.
Yeah, I
So
get that.
because of how much that meant to me, and because I still love her, that's probably my like longest lasting like I'm like I've been the fan of someone the longest is like her and then
Yeah.
like the Beatles.
Okay.
So that's the only reason why I even mentioned her. Obviously, Paul McCartney blows her out of the water.
Yeah.
And Paul McCartney means so much more than just seeing him at the concert. It's the fact I could see him with my dad.
Yeah.
My grandparents love the Beatles. So
Yeah, I
all the
get it.
songs just meant it was very sentimental.
I get that. Okay.
But I do love Miley, and I still do, and I would see her again.
Okay. I don't blame you. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. I talked to you about this before, but as far as the last week,
Yeah.
it was the 4th of July.
Yes.
I don't think we told anybody happy 4th of July last week.
Sorry.
Yeah. We tweeted, I sent out a Facebook message and we put out an Instagram post.
That's right.
The 4th of
'Cause I
July,
thought-
we hit 1,000
Woo!
downloads. So,
Yeah, thanks, guys.
thank you all for, so applause to everybody
Yeah, no,
for
I'm
helping
like,
us get to 1,000 downloads.
yeah, I was with me and my boyfriend. It was on the 4th of July when it happened, right? Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah, that's when I got it. Yeah, I got the email about it.
I was like at this parade thing and with my boyfriend and his mom, and she listens. Shout out Suzanne, she'll love that. And I was showing it to her, and like I just felt, and she like told her friend about it, and then she subscribed to our podcast, and it was like I felt kind of famous for a second.
Okay.
So
yeah.
thanks everyone.
Yeah, thanks guys.
We did it.
That doesn't mean we're done.
No,
but, you know,
keep-
yeah,
let's keep
keep
it
going.
going.
Yeah, let's keep it going. But anyway, so the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised by this because I saw it when I was at work the
Uh-oh.
other day. So I was surprised twice by this same thing. So do you like hot dogs?
Sure. Yeah, they're fine.
Okay. How many hot dogs, and this probably isn't going to be that
Oh,
interesting, but
God.
how many hot dogs do you think the U.S. consumes on the 4th of July?
Ugh. That just made me not like hot dogs. So many. Like a stupid amount.
Probably not as many as you'd think, actually. Well, maybe. I don't know. I
Well-
was surprised that it was as low. I thought it was low. Let's put it that way.
I immediately think of the contest, and that is just
Yeah, well, that's
fact that
entire. We'll get to
we
that
still
here in a
have that
second.
is
We'll get to that here in a
insane.
second.
In America. How many hot dogs? How many people are in the USA?
About 330 million, 350 million, something like that.
Let's go 200 million hot
Okay.
dogs.
So you're okay. So you're closer than I thought. I estimated. My estimate was going to be probably one per person, because if you'll have some that don't eat some,
Right.
and you'll have some that eat more.
Many.
Yeah, but it's 150 million, so it's less
Oh.
than half. It's less than half. On average, it's less than one per every two people. So
Diet
less than
culture.
which surprised me. But the other thing that surprised me in this is that Wallet Hub did crunch some numbers and came up with the fact that the U.S. will spend $9.5 billion on food for that one day.
Oh,
That's a lot of freaking money, Steve.
yeah.
$9.5 billion.
I can't think about it for too long.
Oh, that's a lot of money.
That's insane.
And of course, that's the most, because it says $3.5 billion of it would go to beer and wine, which that's not surprising.
That I can get behind.
Yeah, that's I don't know. Both those numbers surprised me, because the 9.5 billion, it seemed like a lot to me, because that's like $28 a person for that day, which I think of most people like cooking out and grilling and stuff, and I don't think of anything like $30 a person to grill some hot dogs and
That's
hamburgers seems
expensive.
really high, but I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
inflation's fun.
Yeah.
And then speaking of the hot dog eating contest,
Ugh.
did you see how many hot dogs Joey Chestnut ate to win that?
No, but he's like not that big.
None of them are. None of them are that big. It's
Oh.
weird. Like none of the competitive eaters like that are usually the ones that do really well are that big.
Ew. I'm gagging just thinking about it. No,
How many hot dogs? Here, let's start with this because it's 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
How many hot dogs do you think you could eat in 10 minutes? Because I could probably eat like.
If I'm like trying.
If I was well, okay. Let's say if I'm just eating hot dogs, I could probably eat 3 or 4 in 10 minutes. That's probably going to be.
Yeah, I'm at like 2.
Yeah.
I'm not like a big
hot dog person.
No, like
okay.
Preferably 1.
Yeah.
0, but I could probably just casually, if I was like, I'm really craving hot dogs, that's all that there is here, put some ketchup and mustard, I could do 2.
Okay.
Like casually. If I was trying, I don't know, maybe double, so 4.
So 4.
But that still seems like a lot.
Okay. He ate 62 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
He's gonna die.
So I think he's won this competition like 16 times or something like this.
That cannot be right. Something's off in there.
I don't get it. And they don't really eat the hot dogs.
No, they like
they soak them in water.
You guys are lucky that this is an audio only podcast. The faces I'm making, I would never want you guys to see. That's so gross.
This is what I wish we had video to put this on Facebook.
I know. This would be a fun clip, actually. Maybe we would get more views, but whatever. I don't want you guys to see me like this. That's disgusting.
Oh. Yeah, that's just no thanks. I don't get it.
No.
It's not like that's so many hot dogs.
For what's the prize?
Watch yeah. That's not even close to his record, by the way, for that competition. You don't want to know.
Don't need to know. We'll say it. Just
it's his 16th time winning this the Coney Island hot dog eating contest. His record is 76.
Okay, it's not that much of a jump. He could do better.
14. That's 14 more hot dogs, Steve.
I was expecting you to be like in the hundreds.
No. I don't know if that's
I hope it's not humanly possible.
I don't know what you win for that.
It's probably. I mean, I can't imagine it's worth it. At this point, he needs to keep the name, which I get that. If he's just got this, like, he's won it 16 times, he just wants to remain champ. But, yeah, there's no money you could pay me to eat that many hot dogs. That's so gross.
Yeah. That's,
I'm disgusted.
That's a lot. That's just too much.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well.
That's just a lot.
Yeah.
So much.
Makes me like really, really cringe. I'm really having a difficult time.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Anyway, so did you had a good 4th though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, it was hot, but
yeah, it was a little warm.
Oh my gosh, wait. So, falling on a Tuesday, it like makes it kind of weird.
Uh-huh.
So that Saturday, I went to the lake.
Yeah.
With my families and friends.
Uh-huh.
And then from there on Sunday, me and my boyfriend went to his parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
And then that Monday, so we got there and immediately we go to their friend's pool, have, food and drinks. Next day, me and his mom go to the pool, food, drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go watch fireworks, drinks, food, dinner at a friend's house. Then it's 4th of July, walking around, eating, drinking all day. I feel like I was on a bender. Like, I can't.
Because you had like 4 days instead of just 2 or 1.
Yeah. It's not like, and I don't need to be doing that. I know I'm young, but I need to find like a balance, or I need to like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm still recovering. Just my body is like.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like, why? I don't. I can't do that anymore. Like, I need to, or at least, like, if I want to, drink for 4 days in a row, I need to, like, eat a little bit healthier or vice versa. But usually the bad food and the drinking go
Usually
hand in
go
hand,
hand in hand, yeah.
unfortunately. And it's like, I want to enjoy it and have fun, but I can't even do that because I feel so crappy for days. So I don't know. I need to figure something out. It was fun.
Yeah.
And I need to, like, just let myself have fun sometimes. But it got to a point where, like, by that Tuesday, we all, like, during the day, we're, like, walking around. Like, there was a parade and everything. We got home, and we still had plans to go to someone else's pool and do dinner there. And we were all just like, how are we going to do that? How are we all going to physically get up and
Yeah.
go to another place for more food and more drinks?
I mean,
be in the sun.
I get it.
It was so much. And it's fun. I enjoy every single second. But once it's over, I'm like, it's just so different from how I live, like, my day to day.
Yeah. Well, you're one of the people, because I feel like a lot of people did this, is took off Monday.
Yes.
So, and I think some people probably took off Wednesday too, so they had after the 4th.
Yes,
So
that was my travel day.
I feel like a lot of people only worked 2 days this week, if they worked at all.
Thank God.
But like I worked
Monday
in television.
well,
you don't have
right.
you don't. The only day I don't do a newscast is on Christmas Day.
Right.
So I worked just like normal. So it didn't really make a difference to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't change anything. I will say that the fireworks make it a lot harder to sleep when you're trying to
dude.
trying to sleep in the middle of the day. And more of them were going off like there was last night. I feel like was almost as bad as the 4th.
Our neighbors had a show. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I heard it all of a sudden, and I'm like, because,
it's annoying.
the other thing, too, is a lot of times they get confused for gunshots, which happens a lot. And I heard the first ones, and I'm like, that's not, because I heard a lot of bangs, and I'm like, okay. And then I heard the crackle of, like, and I'm like, okay, well, that's fireworks.
Right.
So I knew immediately that it was fireworks. But it's just, yeah, I don't know.
Yes. Personally, being a young woman in an apartment that sometimes I'm alone, any type of outside noise, I'm assuming, is danger. So these fireworks have been giving me a
fireworks
tough time.
are dangerous.
That too.
I mean, you have a lot of people go to the hospital every year from fireworks injuries, so they can be dangerous.
Yeah. So I've had my anxiety's just been a little
high.
These past few days. So that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
I do wish they would stop. I don't know how they still. I'm assuming because all the fireworks get immensely cheaper, right? Like the day after the 4th, just like Halloween candy.
I'm guessing. I don't really know.
And that's why I'm assuming, like, people must wait. There must be people out there that every year wait. 'Cause I feel like this happens every single year, no matter where I'm living, what age I am. I feel like every single year, there's some people that purposely wait till after the 4th of July, then buy other fireworks and have their own little celebration because it's cheaper to do it that way. And then it's just going on for days.
I have a feeling we'll hear them for all weekend. For sure.
I'm over it. I don't like it.
Yeah, I get that. But
movie time.
Yeah. So, I always ask, did you watch the movie?
Yes.
But I should know the answer to this by now. One of these days, one day it was gonna happen, and we won't watch the movie.
One day it just won't.
But
happen for me.
Yeah. You'd seen Casablanca? Hadn't you?
It's like one of my dad's like all-time favorite movies.
Okay. What did you think of it? What do you think of it?
It's a really good story. It's, I think, kind of already knowing about it, I liked it more. Mm-hmm. Because typically I don't like something in my brain. As soon as a movie comes on, it's black and white. My brain goes, "Oh, it's a little boring." Mm-hmm. Right. And if it's about history, okay, even more boring. But so if you hadn't seen this one and you're like me, you might not. It might take you a while to kind of get into it. Mm-hmm. But the love story is so, so good. And I just love that it's kind of like Casablanca is like this kind of safe haven for people. And he's got this like little speakeasy bar. I love, Sam. He's a great character. And I love just the story of the two. So I like it. I think it's a, if someone was like, what's it about? I would say it's a romantic movie.
Love story.
I wouldn't say anything about like history or the war.
I feel like that's what it's known as, is a love story anyway.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful.
I enjoyed it.
Good.
I did get bored a couple times in the middle of it.
Sure.
Though.
It's slow. It's definitely slower.
It's kind of slow.
Yeah.
I was much more into it when it got to
Mm-hmm.
for sure the last, 15, 20 minutes or so.
Yep.
It was I did feel like it was a little slow in the middle, but it was a good movie. I don't know that I need to watch it again anytime soon,
No, I would agree.
but I'm glad I watched it. Let's put it that way.
Good.
But there wasn't anything that that stood out to me. I had never seen it before. I didn't realize all the of course, since I'd never seen it, I didn't realize all the intricacies to the love story because I'd never seen it. So I really had very little idea what I was going into. I knew there was one scene somewhere with them at an airport. That was about it.
Yeah. That takes a while to get to that point.
Yeah, well, that's the very last
Yeah.
scene. So that's about the extent of it. Like I had no idea what I was going into. So.
Do you think it should be on the list?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's considered a classic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a hard time rating things like this.
Me too.
Personally,
It's just so like it's not
how my
from
mind
our own
thinks.
opinions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not the rating of things doesn't really. That's not how my mind processes things usually.
Yeah.
So I'm not one that kind of like I know a lot of people who just rate everything that they do, like, oh, this goes here and this goes here and things like that, and I don't think that way. So
Okay.
it's kind of hard for me to say if it belongs on this list or not. So
It is very, very high up typically on the list. No matter.
oh yeah,
I
it's
know there's
number
like
2.
yeah, that's what I thought. And Citizen Kane is one.
Mm-hmm.
So like those two are actually really good examples. I don't know if this list didn't exist and someone didn't tell me like these are the classics, if I would have even ever been like this is a good movie or even tried to like watch it or
Yeah,
talk about like
if it wasn't like considered a classic, I don't know that I would have thought about it either. That's the thing. It's been considered a classic for so
No,
long that it's kind of just what it is. And there's a lot of, but I feel that way with a lot of movies. So, even ones that I like. So, I don't know. Yeah.
well, I'm glad we watched it.
Yeah.
It's cute and I like when we watch movies I've already seen because then I kind of don't have to pay that close attention. But this week, I haven't seen this one.
You haven't seen Gone with the Wind?
No.
I don't think I have either. So,
Let me just like look up. I don't think I have, but that sounds really old.
it's 1939.
Oh Lord. like
A lot of these movies, we talked about this last week. A lot
Wait.
of these movies are old.
is this Judy Garland?
I don't think so. Is it?
Oh, no.
No, that's
It's just the hair and this little like image really that looks like it that kind of looks like it would be Judy Garland.
oh.
But
yeah.
it's not.
Well, Judy Garland was, in 39, that was the year also that The Wizard of Oz came out, so.
Right. Well, that's what I thought. Like maybe this was her, she was the star. Okay, well this looks good and I don't have to pay to watch it, so I'm happy.
Oh, you don't? What's it?
No,
I don't
it's
know what it's
on-
on. So.
Previously known as HBO Max, but now just called
It's
Max.
just Max. Yes. Yes, Max. Okay, so.
We'll be watching Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, we're watching Gone with the Wind. Is there nothing else this week? I think that's gonna wrap it up for this week, guys. Hope you had a happy 4th. Thanks for helping us get to 1,000 downloads. Let's see if we can get to 2,000 in half the time.
Yeah.
So we'll have a nice week, guys, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.